I want to have some fun with this one. If the Canucks were a Nickelback song, Harm, you and I are in the press box. When we hear Burn It to the Ground as a goal song, we look at each other. We're excited. We love it. So I want people in the chat get involved in this as well. Search it up. Google it right now. Pull up another tab. Get it going on Google. If the Canucks were a Nickelback song, what song would they be? Harm, do you want to get us started with one? I feel like there's an obvious one. There's an obvious one.
I was like,
right?
Burn It to the Ground. Like, you gotta, you gotta take this core and just burn it to the ground.
Burn it to the ground. That's a good option. I put a few more on the list here because Far Away might be another good one to use here. I feel like the Canucks are pretty far away from being this competitive team that they think. Another solid Nickelback song. What about How You Remind Me? What's this team? Does that reside with this team a little bit? What is this team like?
What, it reminds you of depression? Is that
like, I mean, what it reminds me of is like
the last year and the last year and the last year and the last year and the Groundhog Day of how you remind me every year that you can't make the playoffs.
Yeah, this is how you remind me, right? Like this team is reminding me that it's still the same. It's still the same core. It's still the same group of players, and it's still broken.
That's a good one.
It's still a group that's not working. What about this is what I thought of when I think about players that I really think are being affected by this losing more than anyone. I think of Luke Schenn. I think of Elias Pettersson. I think of those two players. They come to mind right off the bat when I think of how the losing is affecting a player. Not even their ability to play, but just what they're like when we're dealing with them in the locker room, what we're seeing their mannerisms are on the ice. Like, I think that my song was, for that one, I said Saving Me by Nickelback, because I don't think Luke Schenn's going to be here for long. I think he would really like to be on a competitive team. He's at that age now where he can move around. And as much as we love Luke Schenn here, and he's I think he's only 7 hits away now, I think, from being the all-time leader in the NHL for hits, which is incredible. He's approaching 3,000, which is going to be awesome. Everybody loves Luke Schenn here. But I think Luke Schenn also really likes winning. And I don't think he's going to be here very long. And it scares me that the reason I chose this song, Saving Me by Nickelback, was like, Pettersson needs a little bit of a boost here with him. The comments that he made a little while ago, a couple of years ago, or maybe a year and a half ago, about, wanting to be on a winning team and that being very important to him for what he wants to do in the next part of his career. Like, what has this team shown him they would make him want to stay around after he finishes his contract after next season? What have they showed him? Have they showed him a plan? Have they done anything for him to make him think this is going to be a winning team? Like, he might be looking for someone to save him and have a deal that happens. That's a really scary thing about the Canucks. I feel like they might be ruining Elias Pettersson's future here with Vancouver, the way this team is being run right now.
Wow, just when I thought this conversation can get any darker.
Yeah.
let's let that we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Okay.
Let's not worry about that.
I am
it's a valid concern. It's a legit worry, but I'd rather not think about that.
Okay, we'll skip that. So some coming in: Lullaby, Burn It to the Ground, How You Remind Me, Where Do I Hide, and Too Bad.
By the way,
what are you waiting for from Nickelback? That's a good one, actually, from Zabarov.
When it came to, do you remember the Nashville game when they did use it in the regular season?
Yeah.
So what I heard about that game was apparently the only reason that they ran it was because Chad Kroger was in the building. And so there was a call from above in the organization where it was like, got to change it. He's in the building. Mm-hmm. So that's why they used it for one game and then didn't use it again.
You know what? The exact same thing happened in Abbotsford when he was out. He was at the Edmonton Oilers game.
Right.
He was at that game. He was also at another game where I was there later in the season, or in the actual regular season for Abbotsford. He was at one of the games there. Chad Kroger was, and they played it there as well. So yeah, they're just, before we go any further, since we're on the topic, I tweeted this out last night, and I feel strongly about
song?
it. I hate the trumpet song every time.
It's so
it belongs with Diaz and him coming. I think I was saying this. I was very vocal in the press, especially with Rob Williams. Don't get me started with him. Last night in the press box, I'm saying this song, you can't play it 6 times. If you get 6 power play attempts, you don't play it 6 times. That song, if you want to use it in a hockey game, that trumpet song, everybody knows that. You heard it from Diaz was coming in with the Mets. He would come out of the bullpen for his closing song. You can use that, I think, in a hockey game if it's you just pulled your goalie, you just called a timeout. That's it. That should be that song can't be played multiple times in a game. It gets repetitive, annoying. It's too much. It's too much to hear it 6-7 times if you have that many power play attempts.
Yeah, I hated it, especially because we are in a spot where we hear it every game too. So
yeah,
it becomes overused and loses its, I guess, how unique and special it can be. But I was 100% like when Rob said that, I was like, oh my god. I was like, I saw that grin on his face. I was like, this is one of the worst takes of all time.
Yeah.